Want to speak English with confidence? You're in the right place. Easy Survival English.
Emma, quick question. How many reviews did you read before you bought your last pair of headphones?
Honestly, probably close to 20.
20 for headphones.
They needed to be the right headphones, Daniel.
See, this is exactly today's topic. We all say we don't trust online reviews anymore. Companies pay for good ones, and everyone knows fake reviews exist.
And yet, 20 reviews for headphones.
Exactly. So today, we're figuring out the real answer and giving you the exact English phrases to talk about trust and opinions.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Daniel. Let's get straight into it.
Today, we're talking about something everyone does, but almost nobody admits to overdoing. Reading reviews before buying anything.
Restaurants, hotels, headphones, even tiny things we don't really need.
Let's get into the real question straight away. So, Emma, when did you first think, wait, I don't think I can actually trust this review? Honestly, it was a hotel. The photo showed a bright, spacious room with a lovely view.
And the reality?
The window faced a wall, a very close wall, and the review underneath the photo said, beautiful view.
A beautiful view of concrete.
Exactly. And that's when I realized the problem isn't always fake reviews. Sometimes it's something sneakier, incentivized reviews.
Meaning someone got something, a discount, a free breakfast, in exchange for a positive review.
Right. Nobody explicitly says, please lie. But when someone gives you free pancakes, you suddenly become a much kinder reviewer.
So the review becomes less about the real experience and more about the feeling in that specific moment.
Exactly. And there's an opposite version too, the angry review. One bad delivery, one rude staff member, and suddenly it's worst place ever, avoid in capital letters.
And that single angry review can sit there for years, even after the business fixes the problem.
So you've got reviews that are too kind because of a reward, and reviews that are too harsh because of one bad day.
And somewhere in the middle, there's supposed to be the actual truth.
Here's the real insight, though. Maybe reviews were never designed to be fair in the first place. People write them when they're extremely happy or extremely angry. The quiet, satisfied majority just uses the product and moves on.
They don't write, "This blender works normally. I am calm."
I would genuinely trust that review more than most 5-star ones.
So here's the core takeaway already, in just a few minutes. One single review can absolutely lie to you, but a pattern across many reviews is much harder to fake completely.
If 90 people mention the same battery problem, that's meaningful information, even if 10 people call it the best headphones ever.
Now, I want to push back slightly on the trust the pattern idea.
Go on.
Even patterns can be manipulated now. Bots, fake accounts, entire review farms. Companies don't always pay for one fake review. Sometimes they pay for hundreds at once.
Okay, now you've taken away my one comfort.
Sorry. But if even patterns can be faked, why do we keep reading reviews at all?
Honestly, I don't think we're only looking for the truth about the product.
Then what are we looking for?
Reassurance. Buying something expensive feels risky. Reviews make it feel like other people already tested that risk for us.
So reading reviews isn't always research.
Sometimes it's permission. Permission to spend the money without feeling foolish afterward.
That's painfully accurate, actually. I do the exact same thing. I'll read a review and think, okay, this person had the same doubt I have, and they still bought it, so it's probably fine.
It becomes a kind of emotional support. A stranger quietly saying, don't worry, I bought the shoes are fine.
Very human. Not always reliable. Comfort and truth are not the same thing.
So if reviews can comfort us while also misleading us, we need better filters. I've actually started doing something specific.
Tell me.
I skip the 5-star reviews and the 1-star reviews completely.
Interesting. Why?
5-star reviews are usually too happy to be genuinely useful.
1-star reviews are usually too angry to be fair. I go straight to the 3 and 4-star reviews instead.
Because those people usually explain both sides of the experience.
Exactly. I loved the design, but the strap broke after 2 months. That's actually useful information.
I also check the dates. If 100 reviews all appeared within the same 2 days, that looks suspicious to me.
Unless it's a genuinely famous, high-demand product, but yes, timing definitely matters.
What about photos? Do you look at customer photos in reviews?
Always. If real customers post their own photos, not the shiny official ones, that tells me the product genuinely exists and works as described.
Right. A blurry photo of a real living room is much more convincing than a perfect studio photo.
Exactly. Companies control the official photos completely. They cannot control what a random customer decides to post.
That's such a simple but powerful filter. Real photos, even messy ones, add genuine credibility.
Now, what about reviews on social media compared to reviews on a shopping website? Do you trust them the same way? Not at all, actually. Social media reviews feel more personal to me, especially from people I follow. Right, because you already know something about that person's taste and honesty from their other posts.
Exactly. A stranger on a shopping website has zero history with me. But someone I followed for years, complaining about a product, feels far more trustworthy.
That's an interesting distinction. Context and history change how much weight we give an opinion.
And honestly, the biggest filter of all, just ask a real person you actually know. A friend has very little reason to lie to you for a free breakfast. Unless they secretly want to keep the good restaurant a secret from everyone else. That's a very different, very relatable kind of dishonesty. So maybe the honest answer isn't trust reviews or don't trust reviews. Maybe it's trust reviews a little less and trust real people a little more. Let's also talk about a very common grammar structure useful for this topic, comparing things using more than and less than. For example, I trust friends more than strangers, or I trust reviews less than personal recommendations.
Very natural, simple structure, and extremely useful whenever you want to compare how much you trust different sources of information.
For example, I trust reviews with photos more than reviews without photos.
Perfect example. Our listeners can use that structure constantly, not just for reviews, but for comparing anything in daily life.
Actually, here's something interesting before we move on. Studies show that most people read at least 7 reviews before they feel confident enough to buy something.
7. Not 1, not 2, 7, just to feel comfortable.
Right. And interestingly, people trust a product more if it has a small number of negative reviews mixed in with the positive ones.
That's fascinating. So a perfect 5-star score with 0 complaints actually looks less believable.
Exactly. A few honest complaints mixed with mostly positive feedback feels far more real than complete perfection.
So a little bit of criticism actually builds more trust than none at all.
Completely counterintuitive, but it makes sense once you think about it.
Let's teach our listeners some useful words from today's conversation.
The word skeptical means you do not easily believe something without proof. For example, I'm skeptical of reviews that sound too perfect. The word fake means not real, made to trick people.
For example, I think this review is fake. It sounds too good to be true.
The word honest means telling the truth, being sincere.
For example, I want an honest opinion, not just a good one.
The word pattern means something that repeats, in this case across many reviews.
For example, if 10 people say the same thing, that is a clear pattern.
And the word trustworthy means someone or something you can believe and rely on.
For example, a review with real photos feels more trustworthy.
Let's also add the word suspicious, which means something feels wrong or dishonest.
For example, it's suspicious that all these reviews were posted on the same day.
And the word genuine, which is very similar to authentic. It means real and true, not fake.
For example, her feedback sounded genuine, not like marketing.
One more useful phrase, too good to be true. This means something seems so perfect that it probably is not real.
For example, 5 five-star reviews for one umbrella? That sounds too good to be true.
Skeptical, fake, honest, pattern, trustworthy, suspicious, genuine, and too good to be true. 8 useful words and phrases for talking about reviews and opinions. Try using at least 2 of these words today in a real sentence, even just talking to yourself. Daniel, has a review ever completely misled you?
Actually, yes. I bought a highly rated umbrella once based on almost 50 five-star reviews.
An umbrella with 50 5-star reviews? That already sounds a little suspicious.
Looking back, absolutely. The umbrella broke completely during the very first strong wind. Not bent, broken, in 3 pieces.
After 50 glowing reviews?
After 50 glowing reviews. I went back and actually read the reviews properly this time instead of just seeing the star rating.
What did you notice?
Almost every single review was posted within the same single week, right after the product launched. And most of them used oddly similar wording, like amazing quality, super sturdy.
That does sound like an incentivized review pattern, or possibly even fake accounts.
Exactly what I learned. There were no customer photos either, which I now realize should have been a warning sign immediately.
Right. Remembering what we said earlier. No real photos, identical wording, all posted at once. 3 warning signs in one product.
3 warning signs I completely ignored because the star ratings simply looked impressive at a glance.
What happened after the umbrella broke? Did you try to get a refund?
I did, actually. And interestingly, when I looked at the reviews again a few months later, several new ones had appeared saying the exact same thing happened to them.
So the pattern eventually became visible, just too late for you personally?
Exactly. Which taught me something important. Reviews are often most honest a few months after a product launches, once the free gift reviewers disappear and real customers start writing.
That's such a useful, specific tip. Wait a little before fully trusting brand new products with suspiciously perfect ratings.
Now I always check the dates, I always look for real customer photos, and I read the actual sentences, not just the star number.
What's the lesson for our listeners?
Never trust the star rating alone. Read a few real sentences, check the dates, look for photos, and look for specific, honest details.
Specific and honest beats 5 stars and vague every single time.
Everyone, do you trust online reviews or do you trust friends and family more?
And what is the most reviews you have ever read before buying something small? Write it in the comments.
Be honest, we already admitted to 20 reviews for headphones and a broken umbrella.
If this episode helped you, please like it and subscribe for a new episode every week.
In our next episode, we are talking about visiting a museum or gallery in English, asking questions and talking about art.
Subscribe now so you do not miss episode 23.
Take care, everyone, and always read past the stars.
Bye, everyone.